Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything once branded. The symbol of the curse. An augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drangleic. Perhaps you're familiar. No, hubby. But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame, your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the cursed.
Right. That opening, like always, is goddamn beautiful. And having played this game several times over, I still don't really know what it's about. I never came back here. I wonder if there's stuff back here. Nope. Well, actually, tell a lie. I do kind of know what's going on there. Obviously, they're talking about the Curse of the Undead, and it's a lot of the opening to this game is just talking about how, like, it's a Dark Souls game, you're gonna die a bunch. But beyond that, it is actually giving a bit more of an in-depth look at, like, the human side of Dark Souls, which is, like, the hollowing process and all of this. And this game is still goddamn gorgeous, even if it's my least favorite in the series. But this thing you wake up on is actually really, really important. Because this, if you've played the game already, you should recognize, is one of the Dark Diver things from the Pilgrims of the Dark Covenant. And I have a big theory about this game that, like, you've heard me comment before, I think I talked about it a bunch in Dark Souls, our playthrough of Dark Souls 1, is that Dark Souls 2 feels like you're walking through a dreamscape. Like, because of the distances between everything being so messed up, and just the world itself being much more fantastical and exaggerated than the rest of the universe, it feels like you're walking through someone's dream, or nightmare as it was. And it makes me feel like this entire game is happening, not entirely within the character's head, but it's happening, like, you're seeing the interpretation of the world they inhabit through the mind of the character, like, as they're becoming an undead. So you're seeing exaggerated, like, false memories, things are being forgotten, like, the traveling between distances is forgotten because it's not important. So you don't experience it. You know, you feel like you're slower, like you're less effective. Which is, you know, would explain stuff like that. And, like, during that intro, you saw that she said you'll stand before the gate to Lothric, or to Drangleic, sorry, not Lothric. And you get there, and the gate is destroyed. There's nothing there. There's no kingdom there. So it makes me think you've arrived there, or somewhere, and it's destroyed. But what you do find causes you to, like, you find one of these, first of all. And the whole point of the Pilgrims of the Dark thing is a combination of acceptance and introspection, and becoming, like, accepting the dark within, like, each person, and making it a part of yourself. So I feel like by jumping into this, you've sort of gone on a journey of introspection into your own character, where they then either reject the dark, in the case of, like, linking the fire, or they accept it, and, you know, decide to move on or something, and, like, better themselves. I feel like that's a much more, like, rewarding story than it's just you're on a quest to, like, a selfish, like, quest to remove your curse and everything. I feel like that makes a lot more sense in the terms of how the game functions, in addition to its, like, environment and location. Because the whole point of, like, Dark Souls is you're trying to stave off going hollow at any cost. Regardless of whether or not you're sacrificing yourself to prevent other people from going hollow, or you're just trying to find your own cure. I feel like Dark Souls 1 is more establishing of the universe and, like, getting tricked on your quest to find a cure. And Dark Souls 2 is an introspection into the entire process of becoming hollow in the first place. Because you saw in the intro, he was forgetting the memories of, I'm assuming, his wife and child. You see him journeying. And that would also kind of work into the trailer, even though a lot of that got scrapped. I'm not going to talk about the trailer right now, because it kind of upsets me, because a lot of what's in it got scrapped from the final release of the game. And, oh, is it not in this section? Or no, it's up here. Even from the beginning, you got these things, which are chasing you, and attacking you. Like, you're already, like, even just getting in here, you're being attacked by things that want to hurt you. And it feels a lot like, you know, because right now, you don't know who your character is. I think if I take these clothes off, I have, like, the generic, standard human male character. But you're completely covered, you have no idea of, like, what you're doing here or how you got here. Your memory is gone. Like, even from, like, a gameplay perspective of the player doesn't know why you're here. And these things, like, without any information, just start attacking you. Well, I'm not going to let them attack me because I don't want to lose any health. It'd be very embarrassing if I died here. And you get chased to a beacon in the middle of this completely unexplainable cave system that is straight out of, like, just complete fantasy. I mean, it goes on forever, apparently. Well, not forever. There's a wall there, but it's hard to tell the distances. Like, that could go on forever. And this entire game just feels like you're in this sort of dreamscape. Which I actually, if that was intentional, because it's like, I have comments on Bloodborne that are very similar to this. Like, Bloodborne actually does exist within a dreamscape, because that's the whole thing. There were a lot of jokes about how, like, if Miyazaki made the game, and it's just, what if it, like, it was all a dream? But you get to the end of Bloodborne, and it is all a dream, and it's actually handled quite well. And I feel like it's not exactly the same here, but it's similar. It's like in Silent Hill 2, when you can't quite be sure of what parts are just in James's mind, and what parts are actually happening. Cry of Fear is very similar. So I guess this is the Cry of Fear of Dark Souls games, if that's a...
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
I would normally go with kit or character, but I think in the spirit of the game,
At least you know your own name. It's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
now, I think, like, the generic, or not generic, but the common response to most people when questioned about Dark Souls 2 is that they dislike its opening. I actually like the opening to Dark Souls 2, with the exception of the latter part of this conversation with the Firekeepers, because I feel like it's disingenuous to the rest of the game, because it's very clearly a response to people and their comments about Dark Souls 1, about it being, like, just the hardest game of all time. And I don't feel like that's... something that should have been put into, like, the begin of the game. Like, it's also mirrored in that the first achievement most people will ever unlock is the achievement "This is Dark Souls" you get for dying the first time. I just don't feel like that's... I don't know, appropriate? Maybe that's just me. But I do actually like her handing you the effigy and having... It's not just like, I picked up humanity and I used it and now I'm human. There's a bit more to it. The human effigies are interesting. just in what they are, because they're very clearly humanity sprites. And because when you use them, it changes the model to a humanity sprite, and it has the same effect as Dark Souls 1, it makes me feel that seeing them as an effigy is part of the character not recognizing things at their face value. Like, part of my, what I was thinking about this game being, like, partially inside your character's mind, or at least their interpretation of the events that are occurring, is that, what character do I want to make? I don't know what I want to make. This is what I used, I think, for my first character, because I gave him a big old beard. I'll have to think. Hold on. Let's start with that. No. I don't know. Let's start with this for now and go from there. But what was I saying? But yeah, things are clearly not as they appear to be. I don't know, that still looks weird to me. I do actually think this might be a little better than Dark Souls 3's, because everything in Dark Souls 3 looks very slick and wet. That jaw's alright. Let's stick with that. Class. Warrior. Knight. Swordsman. Bandits. Hey, that's like the Offspring music video. What is it? Divide by Zero. I usually go with Knight, but I don't particularly like the Knight class in this game. It's alright. I did Strength in my last thing, so I'm thinking to go Dex. 'Cause Dex is really good. Kind of. Strength is actually much better in this game, now that I think about it. Dex has its uses, but if I was gonna do PvP, I'd go Strength because the lag is terrible in Dark Souls 2. So, I guess I'll go Knight. Gift matters the least in this game than any other one. I would either do a bonfire aesthetic, but I know where to get those fairly easily. But this might actually be more useful because there's a random chance I'll get a legendary weapon. Because the crows are stupid in this game. They're just not good. So I might as well just start with this. Because if I give this to Smooth and Silky, I could get the Demon Great Hammer, which is the weapon you get if you kill the boss early in the beginning of Dark Souls 1. It feels really cheap to get. On my other profile, I have like 7 of them. I've never used it because I used the Great Sword because I'm not stupid, but, you know, oh well. Might as well pick this. Now, is there anything else I want to change? I'm not really satisfied with this. I feel like the color is very strange. Maybe a tattoo. No. Fine, I've spent too much time here. He looks like Jeremy Dooley. Well, I'm always chagrined and...
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
Well, that was a rather large crash from downstairs. I hope no one's dead. Also, in case you hadn't figured it out, this is the part of the cutscene that I dislike. because it's very self-referential and it doesn't really have any place within the series. This game does look gorgeous, though. It's freaking beautiful. You got your big old Zelda chests. But yeah, no, human effigies. These are... they're just humanity. They even look like humanity. They have the same glow as humanity. They're just not humanity sprites in the menu. But also, if you hadn't noticed, like, one of these Firekeepers is the same one from the intro, which you supposedly saw outside of this area. So how could she be here if you saw her already at some point prior to this? It just more convinced me that this is not a real place that we are inhabiting. Also, you can break these. I don't know why. They're the tutorial prompts, and you fight enemies in areas where these exist. Also, in case it wasn't obvious, I am playing Scholar of the First Sin Edition, because it's the only one that's even, like... The original Dark Souls 2, I would actually say, has so many problems with it that it is not worth playing now that Scholar exists. I would actually recommend Scholar if you can get it. It's fairly... I mean, it's a fairly competent game. And most importantly, it looks amazing. The original Dark Souls 2 kind of doesn't. Mostly because the lighting is terrible. If you hadn't noticed, a combination of me messing with the files and just Scholar being better, the lighting is now closer to what it was supposed to be advertised as when they were making Dark Souls 2. So the torch mechanic does actually function now. So there will be times at which I will be using the torch. But look at this. This doesn't exist. This can't be real. Do I even have a torch? I do have a torch. I don't know why I did that. I was kind of upset that lighting all of these doesn't actually do anything. It's not like, later in the game, real encounter things that do actually, if you light all the torches, they do stuff. Also, I don't understand why in Scholar they put a bunch of, statues. Like, they put even more statues all over the place than there were in the original game. Most of them are in kind of stupid locations. It just means that you need to use more petrification branches or whatever. But, I mean, the first example, also, people get turned around in this room so goddamn easily. It's hilarious. But already, we've walked, what, 30 feet? 30 meters? And we're already in a completely new location, despite the fact that there was a thing there that couldn't possibly have existed the way it does. So already, we've walked through one zone, and reality no longer makes sense. Also, Dark Souls is planar. There's no curve of the earth. So, I mean, yes, the reality of Dark Souls is already strange, because Dark Souls does not exist on a planet. It exists on a... what was that? Dark Souls exists on a, planar reality, like Norse mythology. So, yeah, you could chalk up the distortions and distance and everything to just reality not being, like, as a traditional reality would be. But I'm above that, so I'm going to hold it accountable for where things are and reasonably should be. Nope, that's the wrong hole. Fine. Curse my terrible memory. I was distracted talking about geography. Fine. I know where to get more of these anyway. I don't like looking at my character being all green. I don't like that the hollows are green in this game, when in every other game they're supposed to look like pygmies. That was just part of the thing. I'm not going to do the tutorial because there's nothing useful in there. There's a few life gems I can get, and that's pretty much it. And I know where to get life gems anyway, and there's no shield in there, so why bother? It's kind of weird that this game doesn't give you a shield to start out with, considering how terrible your roll is when you start. Like, yes, it's fast, but that's to fool you, because it has practically 0 iframes. Because the invincibility frames on your roll is directly linked to a stat that also handles about a million other things, including how quickly you can heal, which I despise. Anyway, this is the one I meant to drop down. So there's that. But, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, this place doesn't exist. That's just... I'm just gonna stick with that as my prevailing headcanon until proven otherwise. Also, frickin' Emerald Herald over there that 99% of people don't notice until, like, how far into the game? I didn't notice her the first time I went through here. I did all of Hades Tower of Flame without an Estus Flask. Life Gem. Oh, shit. Alarms! Be gone with thee. Yeah, there we go. I have roughly an hour to continue recording before I'm required elsewhere. Cool. Alright. Hi, Mauglen? Is that your name? I always forget how to pronounce it. Regardless, I don't have any money, so you're gonna have to wait. Oh yeah, and there's Shalaquire. You see her from in the window? No? She must be by one of the holes. Or on the table or something. Well, anyway. There's Leningrast, or whatever. He's a big old Demon Souls character, of which there are... I know for a fact I commented about this in my Dark Souls, and also Jack's Dark Souls playthrough, is that... what was it? There's a bunch of Demon Souls references in this game for no apparent reason. Because this doesn't really have any specific ties to Demon Souls. It's not as blatant as Dark Souls 3 just taking an entire zone out of Demon Souls and putting it in the game without any changes whatsoever. But, it's just in reverse. Instead of going up, you go down. But what was it? This guy's cool. I like him considerably more than a lot of the other knight characters. That doesn't seem accurate, but alright.
You're undead, aren't you? You have that distinct scent. The smell of irreversible fate.
This guy, like, they could have just let this guy be the one who's, like, all put upon and everything. Because,
a place where life is almost
like, that's what this guy is here for. In every Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, whatever, there's always this guy who's like, everything sucks forever. So they could have had him be the one to give you that speech, and had the other characters actually dispense more meaningful information. If they didn't want to provide information about the world, like, because Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, kind of, Demon Souls, certainly. They all give you expositional information about the world that you're in. That water effect looks really good, by the way. Not quite where it hits the mountain, but it looks quite good. Especially at the sunlight. This game is fucking gorgeous. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's beautiful, which is part of why it gets such a gigantic pass from me. Well, most of this game's beautiful. Also, keep in memory that statue and that cathedral. But what I was talking about is the intro to the other games have very exposition-heavy cutscenes or dialogue that tells you about the world you're about to be entering, as well as the, like, previous just stuff that's been happening. This game is much more centered on the person you are playing as, rather than the world you are inhabiting, which I actually kind of like if it was more clear that that was the case, because the world you're inhabiting is still a very large part of this game. It's just not particularly detailed or, like, focused. I feel like if Dark Souls 2 was... because Dark Souls 2 is supposed to be the kingdom of man. Dark Souls 1, you explored Lordran, the land of the gods and giants and all that. This is supposed to be a non-magical, mostly, human-built kingdom of man. It's, you know, Drangleic. Made by King Vendrick, who is essentially Gwyn Light. And I feel like it doesn't do a good job of portraying that this is the kingdom of man. It feels more like this is... I don't know, it's unclear. Like, I'm still keeping with that idea of this is happening in my mind, which is why, like, you would only think about things in their, like, purely functional sense. Like, that's there, that's somewhere over there. How you get there is irrelevant, because all I need to worry about is what those things are. You know, stuff like that. I'm not explaining it very well. You are floating.
Are you the next one?
Like, exactly. Like, her first words
Or
are not
maybe a
like,
born of fate.
what's happening here? It's, are you...
Bearer of the curse.
You know, like,
I will
in Dark
remain
Souls
by
1, your
your
character
side
was a guy.
till this
He was
frail
just
hope
some
shatters.
person who happened to be stronger
Take
than the
this
other
with you.
characters. Most primarily
ease your
because
journey.
you're playing as them. But even then, they don't necessarily make the journey, because
Go on and see
as
the
part of the way Dark Souls works,
He who made
every
Drangleic what it
player who
once
does not
was.
beat the game becomes hollow
who
and
peered
loses.
at the
But in the
essence of
case
the
of Dark
soul.
Souls 2, if you go hollow,
King
or if you don't
Vendrick.
finish the game, there's not another, like, monarch who steps up and becomes the monarch in your stead. In the sense. Like, because Dark Souls 2 is about your character. They're more important. And it's just very strange. I'll probably talk about this more when I go for the crowns later. About how, like... because Dark Souls 2, again, feels like that very personal struggle between your character going hollow and, you know, just that journey in general. Less than it feels like... what was I saying? Less than it feels like... oh yeah, trying to stop some kind of, like, great evil or the heat death of the universe as the other games. Because Dark Souls 1's about linking the fire. Dark Souls 3 is about the fire is right about to go out and everything is fucked. Bloodborne is about the hunter's dream and all that. And even Demon Souls is about killing that giant demon that's eating everyone's souls. But Dark Souls 2 is just about your character is going to go hollow, and that's a bad thing. And you're losing all your memories, and that sucks. Because they even have in Dark Souls 2, they brought back the thing from Demon Souls where your health gets depleted the more times you die. But even further than Demon Souls, it gets reduced by 10% every time you die, I think. Rather than in Demon Souls, when you die, it just gets brought down to half, which you can then fix with the Cling Ring, which is also in this game, as a big Demon Souls reference. It's called the Ring of Binding here, though, so, you know, whatever. But, oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we're here now, by the way. There's the cathedral I told you to keep an eye on. Because, like I said, how you get between places is not relevant, rather than where the actual place you end up is. Also, these guys are absurdly tough, which I hate, for a bunch of reasons. And there's a dragon there. It's not an actual dragon, it's a drake, but the game doesn't tell you that. Because dragons don't exist. just so goddamn pretty. And I'll admit, for as weird as the transition between this area and the previous one is, this is gorgeous, and I really appreciate it as, like, the first zone most people will go to in the game, because it looks beautiful, and I love it. It's really stupid, though. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but you can see, that was a straight line. That doesn't connect to anything. Like, that tunnel goes nowhere. I didn't pick up the binoculars, I think, in the other area. I forgot to do that. No, I did. Okay, but yeah, no, that goes nowhere. So, most people don't realize, or not most people, but a lot of people don't realize it. They just come through here, they go in a straight line, they never look behind themselves at the fact that, A, that was like 20 miles we just walked in about the span of 3 minutes. Probably less than 3 minutes, like a minute and a half. And it doesn't actually physically exist where it does. Also, is that torch reflecting off of nothing? Yeah, those torches just... Like I said, this place doesn't exist. At all. Also, this enemy sucks and I hate it. There's a much worse version of it that was in the original game. Oh no, I rolled too early. Curses, I'm falling into my old mistakes from years past. Ah. I hate these guys so much. You'll notice that while they're rearing back to swing, they get pretty much 360-degree movement before they, like, release their swing. That is absurdly unfair, and I hate it, because it means that unless you dodge right before they're about to hit you, they'll hit you almost every single time. Every single enemy has an overhead like that in this game, or nearly all of them. And it can make it absurdly difficult to fight some of them. There was a lot of stuff in this game I liked. Like, your character's animations are actually really good. Which is usually the case in Souls games. Also, the hitboxes in this game are terrible. But yeah. Hey, Lloyd's Talisman. Sure. But yeah, no, the hitboxes in this game suck. Oh yeah, animations. Your character's animations for, like, out of breath, running, if they're injured, their stance will change. Like, all of that. That's brilliant. I love that. I wish that was in the other games. If you get hit with bleed, your screen gets a red vignette, and, like, you have a heartbeat thing that pulses in your ears, which is really cool. As well as, what was it? Oh yeah, your character's movement is restricted slightly, so bleed's actually strong in this game. Ow. And now we run, because those two guys will start attacking me, and I don't like having to fight them. Did I just get invaded? No. Oh, that was the thing, right. I forgot about that. I hate the fact that after you beat this area, all of the Haid Knights start patrolling and will engage you on sight, because they're really tough, especially for new players, and their hitboxes are absurdly stupid, so it can make fighting them a pain in the ass, especially since they have a lot of, well, not stamina, but their attack, like, animations. I don't know. They just attack really, really quickly, and getting behind them to do a backstab can be kind of difficult, because, like I said, every enemy will pivot on the spot to face you while you're fighting them, which can make fighting them a pain in the ass. And this isn't exactly the most spacious of arenas. That armor is not great. I'm really hoping I don't act like an idiot and get myself killed. I didn't even equip my Estus flasks. What am I doing? Oh, and I didn't... I'm stupid. I didn't ask for the second Estus flask, because I found a shard earlier. Why not? I might as well clear this guy while I'm here, because I'm going to be doing this a little bit out of order. It's kind of hard to sequence break Dark Souls 2, actually, because most of Dark Souls 2 is not a straight line, but it's like spokes on a wheel. You can't really jump from one spoke to another if you're already on one. So, ow. I forgot. A lot of enemies in this game hit behind themselves for some reason. I guess to discourage what I'm currently doing, but that's still kind of stupid, because I feel like if I'm avoiding the attack, I still shouldn't get hit with it for no reason other than, like, the guy pivoted slightly. I think in the original Dark Souls 2, there was also a guy who stood here. Because I know these guys were not found in Haid, like in this area in the original game. There were, like, 6 of them hidden throughout the world, so if you wanted their armor, you had to find all of them, and there was a chance of it dropping. They did drop specific weapons, which I thought was cool, but in the terms of, like, hey, if I run over here, are you going to attack me? I forget. Yeah, you will. I really, really don't like these guys. There's a bunch of reasons why, but, just, I don't like them. I would say they give me anxiety, but that's not entirely accurate. You're cool, and you're gonna kill this guy, so I don't have to. Although, if you fall off, I'll be very disappointed in you. You'll get a sneak peek for when I inevitably end up fighting like 10 of these guys later. Please don't fall, Glencore. There's a ladder, or there's a railing there for a reason. Oh, he's gonna fucking die. Oh, no, never mind. Get him! What do I pay you for? Cool. Also, the AI's ability to heal has been so drastically... To be fair, in Dark Souls 1, they couldn't. They couldn't heal at all unless they had either miracles or some ulterior method of doing that. Or alternative. Why did I say ulterior? It sounds like ulterior, except not correct. Anyway. Unless they had a secondary method of healing themselves, like players could use humanity if for some reason they had an excess amount of it. Or you could use a divine blessing or something of that nature. But that was incredibly inefficient. But it beat not healing at all. So there's that. In this game, they gave them the ability to heal, just not for shit. Which kind of sucks, admittedly. I don't remember if human players can heal. I think they can. Oh, right. I forgot about this. Shit. I guess I'll keep you distracted while Glencore kills the other guy. These guys are tough. I remember them being really, really tough. I don't like them. I remember backstab's been virtually... You didn't kill that guy? Why didn't you kill that guy? Oh, right, because I've got a co-op buddy here. All my weapons do less damage. Well, to be fair, that could be worse. I forget, do you get the Guy Steel Lance over here, or do you get it somewhere else? No, you get it in the tunnel. That's right. Divine Blessing. I was just talking about you. This guy has a lance. I remember using the Guy Steel Lance and impaling him on it because it had a really cool animation. But other than that, also the first good shield in the game is over here. This is the Hade Spear, I think. It's decent. Reminds me a lot of the SKF. There's a lot of times when enemies have iframes that I disapprove of. That was so impossibly close. Holy crap. Did you take an Estus Flask or did you use a life gem? I can't... Oh, you drank an Estus Flask. Weird. I forget how to kill you. That didn't go too terribly. But you get the Watch Dragon Parma for killing that thing. Also, that's a sound effect from Dark Souls 1. The reason I thought I was being invaded, because there's a very similar sound effect in Dark Souls 1 that signs when you get invaded. Anyway, this. Do I still have a good roll? I do still have a good roll. So now I have a shield. The first good shield of the game that's very similar to Patch's, I think, shield. Also, there should be an effigy here, right? Nope. I'm stupid. Oh, never mind. I was totally right. Cool. How much time do I have? 20 minutes? Technically closer to a half an hour, but I don't know if I'll be able to beat him with that amount of time. Fuck it, I'll try. Getting back here isn't too difficult. And what, I waste, what, about 10,000 souls? That's not too much. Or 8,000. 8,250. Glencore would make this easier. I would rather have another person, but... I'm here, might as well. Hello, weird Dark Souls 1 reference. I'm glad they moved the fuse out of the way in Scholar. And he has Smog's moveset right off the bat. How weird is that? I always thought it was really weird that this character is here, despite the fact that we know where he ends up in PS3. Such a weird fight that I will talk about when I'm not fighting them. Also, isn't it weird that there's no music? Well, that was much easier than I remember. I guess because Glencore was here. And you get the first great ring of the game, which is the old Leo ring, which is objectively good, because it just makes your spear better than it already is. Not that I have a spear. If I was using the Guy Steel spear, which I might use, it's a really good weapon. You get blue eye orbs that I won't be able to use because I'm probably not going to do this guy's quest line. I already have all the quest line achievements anyway. Oh yeah, you get 2 more shields. I forgot about that. Because you get 1 for each playstyle. You get a standard sword and board shield, you get a heavy shield, and you get a, I think, a parrying shield? I don't remember. Right, now... for all intents and purposes, I've already cleared Hades Tower. Like, this entire zone is done now, with the exception of the boss over there. So what I'm going to do is run back to the bonfire, because first of all, I don't have a homeward bone or anything. Because they stopped giving those to you at the conclusion of every boss fight in this game for some reason. So I'm going to run back to the bonfire, and I'm going to go back to Majula so I can level up. One thing I do hate is that in this game, they went back to the Demon Souls style of leveling up, which made sense in Demon Souls, but doesn't make sense here. Is that you can no longer level up at bonfires. You now have to talk to Emerald Herald. Yes, I know she has a name, but I'm not saying Shanalot every time I want to talk about leveling up. I never noticed those things had eagle heads. How have I never seen that? I was just talking about how I look at, like, everything in this game, because also, that's just the Anor Londo Cathedral, by the way. Which makes even less sense that that's here, because this isn't Anor Londo. Because I've been to Anor Londo in the future. It doesn't look like this. It's not surrounded by water. People thought this was Anor Londo, because, you know, fucking Ornstein is standing right there. But this isn't Anor Londo, so this makes even less sense, and even further cements the fact that this is all a dream. Because it resembles places in Dark Souls 1, but they're just a little bit off. Like, you go to a place that's essentially Izalith, but it's in the sky. And that looks like Anor Londo, but it's underwater. And not. So it's all very confusing.
Bearer of the curse.
Hey,
seek
look,
misery.
it's Guts, but not quite.
For misery
Almost
will
Guts.
lead you to greater,
Gutzilla.
stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
King's an asshole.
Seek those
He's
whose names
really
are
tough.
unutterable. The four
Time is
endowed
up.
with immense souls.
I've got like.
Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away.
But yeah, you get that dialogue,
Is that
which
a
is
shard you
weird,
found?
considering
Here,
that
let me see it, so that I may
Dark
help
Souls
you
2 is about your character and not
To
really
see
other
light.
people.
to see hope, however faint it might be.
At least they got beards down. Took them how many freaking games? And then they were terrible again in the other Dark Souls games, so what the hell? Level up. I should have a decent amount. Vits. No. Adaptability. That's the fucking stat. I hate it, but it's the stat. You have to get it up to 30 as soon as possible to get a roll that isn't terrible. I hate it, but it's unfortunately necessary. I am, however, going to put some into endurance. There. That should be good for now. I still hate how they split endurance into 3 stats. They split it into endurance, vitality, and adaptability. When it was just endurance in the previous game. Hey, there's the guy. Oh, wait. Almost the guy. That helmet has remained unchanged almost since Demon Souls. It's been very, very similar. Did I pick up any soul item? I did. Cool. I'm gonna go talk to Moglin, see if I can get some better armor. If I remember correctly, he sells the Elite Knight set immediately after you kill the Dragon Rider, which I haven't done yet, but, you know. What time is it? I have 20 minutes left. Alright.
Hello there.
Hi, Moglin.
Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin. And,
Or Molin.
I sell armor.
I'm more familiar with Moglin.
Sorry, Please do have a look at my wares.
Moglin.
I could really use the business.
Actually, you couldn't. If I give you my money,
be so
you'll
kind.
become an asshole and then go hollow. Yeah, see, I have to beat Dragon Rider first.
Well,
which I don't want to do. Because, well, I mean, I do want to do that, but I don't know if I have the time to do that right now. I probably do, actually, but... Alright, fine. Give me a minute. Travel. Oh yeah, and you get your Metroid Prime thing. Because you unlock teleportation in this game, or in the previous game, you can now teleport forever. Which I appreciate. Good on past me. Oh, shit, already? I don't think I need a Phantom, but in the interest of saving time... Item? Alright. Okay, let's get to work. I hate you. I hate you so much. Oi! You were just gonna leave, then why'd you put your sign down? Put on the fucking ring next time then, eh? I've stated it before, but I really hate those hammer guys. Hammer bros, if you will. Anyway, time. 15 minutes. Damn. But anyway, you saw how that guy just flipped around 180 degrees in like 2 seconds? Yeah, that's because of how fucked up the tracking is in this game. Enemies have aggressive hyper tracking. It's annoying as hell and breaks the game severely. It was much worse in the original version, but it's not really resolved in this one either. I just received a message from a person about Halo Reach. Okay, sure. They also increased the leash range of most enemies pretty severely as well. Like that guy, like those guys, unless I ran all the way to the beginning of the zone, will start, you know, following me. And I understand it's in the interest of trying to prevent as many cheap gimmick tricks as possible, but it doesn't really work, and it's just making the game less enjoyable overall. Palestone. Yeah, because I'm going to be using magic, right? Also, Palestone. Straight out of Demon Souls. I think they took all the naming things from Demon Souls and gave them to... I mean, aside from Titanite. But those are like your status effect ones. Also, I don't like how the Titanite is kind of a retcon of the first game, because they came from the slabs before, but now it's just like someone imbued this Titanite with a magical power. Who could have done this? I don't think it works as well as just like they were naturally, like they just had those properties. I don't know, that might just be me. I hate you so much. Alright, come on, Glencore. No, no, stop it. Get over here. Bad Glencore. We have people to kill. Yes, I know you can get this boss to kill himself fairly easily, but I just don't have the time to try that right now. Because that's not a guaranteed thing. The knockback on him is pretty severe, so that'd be a bad idea. Also, I don't like how they just gave a lot of the bosses the same music. So I think this is the same boss that music that Duke's Dear Freya has that, like, the other... There's 2 Dragon Rider fights in this game, by the way. The second one's a little bit more interesting. This one gets a pass for having a cool environmental thing. If I hadn't pulled those switches, this arena would be about 75% smaller, and you could, like, try to knock each other off, but that's not the smartest way to do this fight, considering you can just fight him legitimately. And there's a summon right outside. He's not the hardest fight in the game, so it makes more sense to just not do that. Also... Oh, I took that off, right. If you'll look, those guys are now patrolling, because I killed the Dragon Rider, which means I'm never coming back to do this zone again. So it was a good thing I did it the way I did the first time. Because if I didn't, things would have been extremely frustrating. This character sucks. Not that she's like a poorly written character, I just don't like her. I respect her because she's a huge con artist. And that's hard to do, especially in the Dark Souls universe. So she gets props for being good at her job, but she's also a huge asshole and she tries to kill you a bunch.
My name is Lycia.
Of
I have
Lindelt,
come
right?
to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple.
She continues. Oh, Z
I
fighting.
can see that
She
you are
continues the
well
trait
suited to
that
comprehend their wondrous
clerics have in the
power.
Dark Souls universe, and that they're almost universally
But the cost of
scumbags. She's basically a
That's
reroll of Petrus from the first game, except Petrus is actually of his faith. She's not, which is interesting because she can use miracles.
I'd heard awful rumors about this place, and I'm afraid they were all true. The king, gone. The earth, ravaged.
Why would you call this
The
place
burden on the
Earth if it's
people
not
weighs
Earth?
heavy.
I guess because
I
Earth
fear
means
that
dirt
by
before it
now
meant the
They
planet.
may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles. Why did I come here? Well... Do I need any other reason than to spread
Yes.
the gospel of miracles?
Because the miracles
My
are you're
preceptor
selling
always
are
said
falsehoods.
this art should be shared
But
with the
because I
world.
believe they're real, they work.
And such
Although,
is my
hilariously
only
enough,
wish.
it actually kind of brings... There was a patch that made miracles useless in this game, and the fact that hers are fake kind of actually validates that patch, because if they're fake, wouldn't they be less effective? Because they'd be harder to believe?
Sometimes I fight the urge to pack
So
up
that's
and
actually
go
kind
back
of an
home.
interesting in-game, like, meta
It is...
thing. Like,
Well,
her miracles suck
I
because they're
must
fake, no
do
wonder,
this.
right? But then you get Wrath of the Gods, and
being
it's like,
out
oh,
here
it's not
all
as good as it
alone
used to be.
only makes
And
this
then
a
you're like,
more
oh, never
fitting
mind.
test of my fortitude. I expected this cathedral to be bustling.
I forgot how much
there's
dialogue
hardly
you
a
assholes
soul to
have
be
in this
found
game.
here.
Ooh, pretty. It doesn't
Without any
sparkle
goings
though,
on,
it's just
I'll
a
have to
static
move
skybox.
soon.
That's weird.
To a place I could gull the...
Yeah, see, there's the first hint that
Sorry.
this character's not on the
help
level.
the gullible by teaching the good word.
Her eyes might as well dart back and forth when she says that. She also sells lightning, which would be cool if lightning didn't suck. What they did was they made every single miracle take more faith to use, gave it less uses, and reduced its damage. So miracles
No
are
need for
useless in this
miracles.
game. I already sat at the bonfire, right? Back to Majula. I can level up. Or no, I can get new armor. Because this armor sucks, and I hate it. Also, it looks like an enemy in the game that I hate, and I refuse to dress like an enemy that I hate. Wow. Actually, I could buy the Silver Cat ring. The fall damage in this game sucks. No, armor's more important. Not dying is more important than not dying. Hi, Moglin.
Oh, hello again.
Oh, shit, not yet? Fine,
Well,
I guess I'll get the
I
other
do
thing
hope I see
then.
you again.
You know, if you kill the Royal Rat Authority, you get some kicking cat legs. I have those on my other profile, but I'm not going to fight the Royal Rat Authority on this one, because that fight is the worst in the entire game, and I hate it.
Oh, undead are we? And one without much time remaining.
So many people I know want to fuck this cat.
Just about ready to
It's quite
fall apart,
astonishing,
I'd say.
actually.
Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat.
I have a pet cat. I used to have more, but
Well,
I only have one right now.
suit yourself.
I like petting it, but I can't very
yes.
often because
You
it
may
burns
call
my
me
flesh.
Shaqua.
The soft
Enchanté.
mules of my kitten burns me.
So, what did you want anyway?
Yeah, she's kind of
you
monopolized
smell
the bathroom across the
wonderful.
hall, so now no one can use it because it's filled with cat. Bye. Damn you. Fine, give me a minute.
Nothing suited you, I presume? Well, that's dismaying.
I do like you, Shalaquire, even if you are a massive cunt. And hey, it's a Souls game that doesn't immediately kick you out of the menu after you use an item. I don't know why the other games do that. I never understood it. Also, I like how the icon hasn't changed at all since the other games. So there's still the fluted knight set at the top of the thing.
Who are you again?
Who tried to hit
Not
Shalaqvar?
serious.
Rude.
You do have a rather
You
pleasant
barbarian.
scent.
Do I smell like lemons?
Type I'm quite fond of.
It's weird how much this cat flirts with your character. Cool. Another Demon Souls reference. And you can get Prism Stones, which I love, but you can't hold as many in this game, which I hate.
This place is already dead. Everything
I've
will
got
crumble
5
and waste away
minutes
so that something new may be born.
That's enough time to talk to this character and
Isn't it
do nothing
wonderful?
else.
This place is fascinating. We receive only the most peculiar visitors. Folk like yourself.
Get out of my
It's
way,
enough to
pop
keep
filter.
even a cat amused.
Oh,
Are
speak.
you going to see the old ones? Those 4 who have grown so incredibly ancient.
Stop retconning Dark Souls 1!
They must have sprouted quite a thick coat of moss by now.
How do you even know who these
For
characters
heaven's
are?
sake.
Unless you're a
No one
descendant
even
of, like,
knows their
Alvina,
names
and she
anymore.
somehow, like, gave her offspring
Imagine
turned
that.
into regular house cats instead of the Cheshire motherfuckers that they used to be.
Yes. Nothing like yourself.
Did I talk to Alvina in my playthrough?
You have
I
a
hope I
most
did. She's one of my
pleasant
favorite
self.
characters.
It grows nicer with each passing day.
Reminds me of that meme. The guys reacting. It's like they don't react to Shanalot at all, but then like the cat shows up and they're all like,
Have you
ah!
made friends with the man by the sea?
What, Krusty?
He's lost everything. Absolutely everything. The only thing he's good for now is a few tidbits on covenants.
Stop being self-referential.
Covenants are a type of, well, contract.
No, they're
you
like
might
the
say.
loosest they've ever been.
You give something to gain something. That's the way humans like it, right? It might be just the thing you need. But what does a cat know?
This character is so weird. Also, mind you that she's asleep right now. Like her model, she's sleeping on the table.
Did you see that oddly formed rock behind here? Long ago, they called it Victor Stone, as I recall. If you wish to face greater challenges, speak to the rock. Although, you'd just as well not.
I don't know where I stand on the voice acting in
This
Dark Souls
place is
2.
already-
Okay, we've looped.
Oh my.
Shut up! I don't know where I stand on the voice acting in Dark Souls 2. Because all the dialogue is over the top and ridiculous, but the actual performance feels decent, so I don't know. I didn't put the ring on. I should put this on. Oh, it only does counterattacks? I forgot about that. Huh. Is it 60% in this game? In Dark Souls 3, it's 70%, but I know that's not the case here. I'm gonna save this. I could put that on. I'm not going to. Well, I'm out of time for now. Because I got like 2 minutes before I need to get ready, so... later, I guess.